Hey guys, it's Sebastian, and today we are going to look at the Capital One Venture card and see how it stacks up in 2019. We're going to look at its strengths, its weaknesses, and strategies that you might want to implement with the card. One of the big reasons for this series is because cards do change pretty quickly, and one of the strengths of the Capital One system is that they've adapted their cards. With that, let's dive into the basics of the card and see whether it's worthwhile for you. Before I dive into everything, let me know down below what benefits or partnerships or features you would want Capital One to add to the Venture and Venture One card if something does have to change, or whether they should just keep it as it is. Also, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. There's a $95 annual fee that is waived in the first year, and there's a welcome offer of 50,000 points after $3,000 of minimum spend in the first 3 months. They currently have a partnership with Hotels.com where you're going to earn 10x miles back on all of your Hotels.com purchases until January 2020. On everything else, you're going to earn 2x miles back. The card comes with 12 airline partners, and you have a $100 global entry and TSA pre-check credit. There's also no foreign transaction fees. One other really big benefit of the Capital One Venture system is that you can actively downgrade this to the Venture One card in year 2 if the card no longer makes sense. This means that you get the bonus from the prior card and you have a card that no longer has an annual fee. And with the Venture One, you still have that partnership with Hotels.com for now at least. If you want to figure out how much value you're going to get from the card in year 1, so whether it's worth it for you, we do have a calculator on that page. So go down to the blog post down below, and at the bottom section, midsection, there's a calculator. So running through that quickly, assuming that we are eligible for the bonus, we are going to be able to finish the minimum spend, and we pretty much put $4,000 on Hotels.com and $3,000 on other. We're going to transfer the miles that we get back out to Etihad at a 2 to 1.5 rate. I recently got 2.5 cents per point from Etihad, so I'm going to put that valuation, and I'll do a video on that in the future. This means that in year 1, you're getting $1,800 in value from the points transferred out to the partner, points that you generated from the welcome bonus, as well as from the spend multipliers. Overall, I think the card is going to make sense for most people in year 1 at least, and again, there's an active downgrade path, which makes it a lot easier to get than some other cards that don't have that downgrade path. For me, I'd probably get this card after Chase 524 just because you might as well still optimize your Chase cards, but after that, I think locking in that Capital One card makes a lot of sense. If you want to play with that calculator, again, it's going to be in the blog post down below. It should be the first link and in the middle of the blog post. So we heard about a lot of its strengths. What are its weaknesses? The big weakness is that we don't really know what's going to happen after 2020. So will Hotels.com kind of recommits for another 2 years or 3 years, or will we see a new partner? And that's kind of the big scary part because we don't really know. My guess though is that Capital One will figure out a way to make it competitive because in the past they actually partnered with Uber beforehand and then with no one for a bit and then with Hotels.com. I can either see them continuing that partnership with Hotels.com or just finding a different partner that makes sense. One of the big strengths of Capital One seems that they are actively listening to feedback and pivoting their card and making it competitive. Looking at opportunities, because I think we just started doing a SWOT analysis, I think it makes sense for them to partner with places that Chase, American Express, everyone else is not partnered with. This means that something like Priority Pass is a pretty bad partnership, while something like Airbnb, Lyft, any of those new startup type things make a lot of sense. If anything, that's pretty much where the value of the Venture as well as the Venture One card is due to that partnership with Hotels.com. With it, they are pretty much an S tier card, so pretty much on top of everything else, an overpowered card, and without it, I'd probably put them in the A, B, and C range depending on how you kind of map it out. Capital One has leveraged these partnerships pretty strongly, and that's what they need to keep doubling down on. I think the biggest threat for this is pretty much themselves. If they end up adding other benefits that everyone else has, that's not really that interesting. They've kind of done this with global entry, and based off the math, based off adding this feature, maybe it was cheap enough that they knew that they would move the needle, that it was a positive expected value situation. But for other things, if they add Priority Pass, I just don't really see it working out that well. If you are someone worried about the partnership going away, remember that you can downgrade to the Venture One card, and in the future, I'm guessing that's the new partner they bring in. You'll still get the benefit with the Venture One card like you do right now. So the good thing here being that you get value right now, and also you're not really taking any long-term liability. You don't need to keep the Venture card and keep paying that $95 annual fee. On that note, if you are someone who wants to learn more about this card and you want to support the channel, pretty easy way to do that would be to use the links on our sites or the links in the description box down below. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. My question for you guys is, what are your thoughts on this card? And if they did have to add a partner for 2021 instead of keeping Hotels.com, what partner would you want and what features or perks would you want? Let me and the community know down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. If you know anyone else who'd benefit from what we just talked about, feel free to share this video with them because it's probably going to help them out. But otherwise, hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time.